Hello and welcome to this week's podcast. I'm not going to do what 2.0 does and focus on the Jays, but this is the podcast this week. Welcome. It's hosted by Rob the Mayor. I just want to go over a few quick announcements. Real quick, don't forget to follow the YouTube channel. That's what you're watching it on. It's what you watch all the streams on. Search Rochester Floor Hockey League to find all videos based around the Rochester Floor Hockey League. Peter's been doing an awesome job of running that for us, and we got a good thing going with that. So like, subscribe, comment, do everything you can to get that keep moving. Next thing is Discord. Everyone, we've been noticing we've been doing a lot of things on the Discord, slowly transitioning everything over the Discord. So if you haven't been using the Discord, if you're not on the Discord yet, if from this season, get on there, get used to it, move around the channels, pick your roles. There's more stuff that's just not RFHL stuff, extracurricular stuff. Get involved, do everything in there. One more thing, we got summer signups going up April 1st. So for all RFHL members, April 1st is the summer signups for the summer league. No refs, no goalies, small nets, ball up in the tennis courts outside. So I've never done it, but the signups go live April 1st. And the final thing, I just want to kind of do a quick mention. Sweets put something in the announcements in the Discord. Just a reminder, anybody playing in this season and in future seasons, protect yourself as you see fit. We don't want anybody getting any unnecessary injuries. Things happen. It's hockey. We already all know that. Even if you're fully geared up, you're still going to risk getting injured. But take care of yourself. Do what you think seems right for you, so you're not getting injured, any crazy injuries out there. And also play with respect. Mind your aggression. We don't want to add to those injuries and hurt anybody else. We're all grown adults, full-time jobs, and kids. So we just want to be able to go play hockey, come home, sleep, go back, play hockey next Wednesday. That being said, I've got three cool, awesome people on the podcast tonight. Two of them are rookies. We've got Jake Schmalley, Matt Haruski, and veteran Steve Newberry. Jake, how you doing tonight?
Good, Rob. How's it going?
Good. I'm glad to play this season with you. I'm glad that I finally got you into the league. I know you've been kind of asking to be in the league for a while, and I told you it's a hard. It's weird. Like, and now everyone says like the RFHL is a cult, and I mean, noobs can probably attest to how addicting the league can be.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that's almost like once you're in, and it's hard to get in. But once you're in, you're in. And I know you've been trying to get in for a while. I'm glad we got you in. You played the Winter Classic. You really liked it. And it kind of opened up some doors for this spring season. And I'm glad you're here. Glad we're rocking it again on the same team too.
Yeah, man. I've been having a lot of fun. The Winter Classic was a blast. And I was in your messages for a while trying to get in. And then when you say cult, like, I totally know what you mean about that. Because when I joined the Discord and I saw that first YouTube video, I clicked that Hunger Games thing. I'm like, what did I get into here?
Yeah, Pete went all out for that Hunger Games video. That was honest. That was a really cool season. That was a great way to celebrate 25 seasons, I think.
Yeah, it was fun.
Hursky, how you feeling, bud?
I'm great. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be on the pod, and I'm happy to actually be able to be in the league this year.
Have you been trying to be in the league?
Yeah, I've been doing the Winter Fest over at Westgate. I think I've done it this about 3 years. I think last year was my third year, and Sweet's been trying to push me in to your guys' league here. And it seems like every time they're just like, oh, there's no rookie spots. There's no rookie spots. And then I think they made some changes to try and get me in. They're like, he's done enough of the Winterfest stuff. Let's just put him in as a veteran. So, and then I did the summer league last year. So some new faces in the league, in the gym, but a lot of guys I do recognize.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think there's been talks of changing the rookie sign up or exception to like almost make you a veteran per se. And I think for at least for me, and I might have been noobs that I talked about at one point, but I think consistency is what is really key with anybody that's from the outside signing up. So like you said, you played 3 Winterfests in a row. Like I think anybody who's trying to get in the league, if they play like all the extra stuff that is like the outside fest, like playing Winterfest, playing the summer league, playing the winter tournament. Like if you play like 3 or 4 of those in a row, I feel like that should give you like kind of like veteran status, in my opinion, because that shows consistency. That shows that you want to be in the league.
Yeah.
You're showing up for every event and you're there every week, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So I definitely putting yourself out there. I mean, I was the same way when I first tried to get in the league. I did not understand the rookie status thing. Kyle Antilla was I worked with him and he was trying to get me in the league. And this is back when it was at the Monroe on Y. And he told me, like, yeah, they're gonna have rookie sign up starting tomorrow. Make sure you go down there and sign up. And he told me, like, yeah, get there as soon as you can. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, dude, as soon as I get out of work, I'll run down there. Like, I got it. And he kept telling me, he's like, yeah, as soon as you can. But he didn't really reference like first thing in the morning to me. So like it was like that day at work, and he comes over to me, he's like, how'd you sign up? And I'm like, I'm going as soon as I get out of work. He was like, oh, like you should have gone over there this morning before you came to work. And I was like, what? Like, there's no way, dude. And he was like, no, it's already full. And I'm like, what? How is that possible? So, I mean, what do you think, News? You've been in league. Has it always been like that crazy with the rookie signups?
No, I don't. I think that's more of a recent thing. The last probably 10 years. The first 5 years or so of the league, it was. I mean, it was crazy. There was a lot of people interested, but I think there was a lot of fall off. We hadn't really kind of developed that cult personality yet, where everybody's committed to playing all the time. I think a lot of people that were playing early on were just looking for something to do. We definitely evolved into this really committed mindset of we're all, camaraderie, fellowship, kind of being there for each other, being there for the league, and just kind of putting our all into the league itself.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I noticed it when I joined, and I feel like I joined in the loophole way. I joined as a goalie, and because there was just a need for a goalie, and I kind of got in, and then I brought in Makerchuk, and once I brought in Matt, that kind of was like a swap thing. I even told Matt, I was like, hey, we can swap on and off, like sign up for fall, and I'll go goalie in spring and kind of thing. But then all of a sudden spring came and we did not need the goalies, and so I haven't been back in that yet. But ever since then, yeah, at least since I've been in the league, it just felt like rookies were just like, it was impossible. But what, seven rookies this season, so definitely cool. And it's great to see like new faces, and it's definitely added a new dynamic because these rookies, you don't know how they play. I was looking to get Mark Stolt on the podcast because in my opinion he was a shocker for me, because I was a 6th round rookie who just absolutely has crushed it since he joined, in my opinion. He's fast paced, and he's right in your face, and I just wasn't expecting it. No one knew who he was, and he just came out of nowhere. So, but yeah, rookies are cool. This is a cool season, and I'm excited to have you guys here. What was that, Jake?
He's on Firestorm, right?
Yep. Yeah, Firestorm Hockey Club.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
he's the tall one. We played him first week one. His first shift came out, and I didn't know what to expect, and I just came out slow from behind the net, and he was just ran right up in my face, and I was like, holy shit! I was just
feel like it was the same way when we played them too. It was just like right away there was no space at all.
Yeah, he's very aggressive, and he's on the puck. And I mean, I remember 2.0 mentioned, I think in like the either the draft video or the week 1 podcast, he didn't know what to expect either. They saw like videos of him playing like lacrosse and stuff, and they knew he was kind of a bigger dude, but like they just didn't know what he was fully going to bring in the gym. And no one knows what any rookie's really going to fully bring in that gym into a rookie game. You know, playing in the gym is a completely different world from playing anywhere else. So yeah, he brings an impact for that team, and I think he really helps Firestorm a lot.
Yeah, I think he was D'ing me up that game, man, and that was frustrating for sure.
All right, so let's move into a quick touch base on week 5 games. I don't want to spend too much time on those games, but I just want to touch base real quick on first game. Conco, hope you're doing good, buddy. We're all sending the best vibes to you. Hope that you can get a speedy recovery. I know that's hurting you guys, Noobs and Matt. Do you guys have any update from Conco or anything on how he's feeling?
I don't have anything unless Steve has something.
Not really. No. I mean, he sent us a couple pictures of his leg, but I don't think he's even been seen yet with beyond the initial X-ray. I know they were looking to do an MRI once the swelling went down a little bit, but as far as I know, they haven't done that yet.
Gotcha. Well, we're hoping for a speedy recovery. And I mean, if anybody saw it happen, saw the first game, Porconco took a nice fall and just came out on the bad end of it. So looking for hopefully speedy recovery. Hopefully, I know he says the fall might not be when he comes back, but fingers crossed that we get him back as soon as possible because he's a huge asset to the league. And I mean, I called him a legend a couple of times during the broadcast on Wednesday, and that's just how I feel. I mean, Conco is a big part of why I got even associated with the RFHL. So definitely hoping for some good things on that. But my big thing that I want to talk about with the games this week is I don't know if any of you guys watched any of the broadcasts. I know we all played each other, so we had a great game. I mean, I feel like our game was head to head. I mean, it was nuts. I mean,
that was crazy. Yeah, it was a crazy game. It was back and forth. It was like whoever was going to get when it came to like who you had to score first.
Yeah.
You just kind of had to ride that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it felt like it was one of those games where not one team fully carried momentum or like buried the game. I felt like you guys started off and I was just like, oh shit, we're down. I think we were down 3-0 quick. And it was just like, this is going to be a tough game. Like, this is not, we didn't want to have another game where we were fighting back from behind. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, it was 3-3. And I just felt like for the rest of the game, it just was a good battle back and forth. And anytime one team took momentum, I felt like somebody else just fired back and just kind of balanced it out.
Seemed like both teams really kind of got their juice that game. Both of us.
Yeah.
It seemed like everyone was flowing well. The game was well. It seemed just head to head from the beginning to end.
I was talking a bit with Matt McCarchuk about it, and he kind of made a good point where it felt like we were both playing for something for different reasons.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can relate to the recent podcasts, but I feel like both teams kind of had our own personal bulletin board material for that game. Like, I mean, I don't know how you felt about it, Noobs being the captain, but with Tipsy landing at 8 on the power rankings, and then us being known as already consistently as the team who just can't play defense, it was just kind of like, I feel like both teams were just like, we had something to prove that night. And I feel like we did it. We put our hearts and our souls on the floor that night. What do you think, Noobs?
I think the overtime definitely helped that a little bit. But yeah, it definitely felt like we had something to prove. I mean, being ranked last, even though we were in the middle of the pack, definitely stings a little bit.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, looking at the stats, seeing that we're so low goals for, and how I kind of wanted to craft the team, it's unfortunate, but it feels good to finally have gotten so many goals on. And I think you guys felt probably a lot better about having so few goals against. So I think we both came away with a win in that.
That's kind of how I felt on the drive home. I really wasn't I didn't feel like I lost. I felt like, I mean, I know we lost, but it just was it was a different feeling on the way home. It just was like we all played really hard. We pushed that game to overtime, and it could have gone either way. And Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have the game winner that game?
Yeah, it's actually funny. I went to Noobs afterwards, and I'm like, "Was that you? Did you score that?" And he's like, "No, that was you." And I'm like, "Really?" I mean, it was just like there was so much adrenaline running when we started that overtime that, I mean, I just put my stick in the right place and it just happened to go in. I mean, it was just like, it was a lucky shot that it just went in. So, but I'll take it. I thought that was probably personally my best game that I've had. And I don't know. I feel like that for me personally just gave me so much confidence as
Awesome.
going in.
That's solid. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like this could be wrong, and I was just going off of trying to read the stat sheet. Did you get your first goal this week too?
Yeah, that was the thing. I had gone into, this was week 5 now. That was week 5, and I hadn't scored a goal. And I think I was talking to John or someone on our team, and I was just like, I haven't scored a goal in 5 weeks. I think I was the only one who hadn't done it. But you mentioned at the beginning of the pod, just the adjustment from going from playing on that basketball court outside to come into a gym. It's totally different. The rules are different. You got goalies. The intensity is 10 times more than out on that out at the park, and that definitely took me a while to get used to.
I've been having a tough time adjusting to the my clef puck, man. Because you'll feel the puck, you'll be puck handling, and then right when you have your usual flow of how you would with a ball or whatever, that thing will flip on you last second. But I mean, it's nice.
Yeah, I mean, last thing I want to touch on in that 6:30 game, and just a little. I mean, tap on my own back is I apologize, Matt, but I feel like I kind of dipsy doodled you real good there in the corner on the wall.
I was hoping you would have mentioned that. Oh my, I heard it. I heard it from I think our bench and your bench. I heard on the sides. Man, that was so bad. I should have just went and sat down.
That one felt. I feel like I got too caught up in the moment. I felt good making that happen, and I just couldn't reach the puck, and I kind of like lost possession. But in the moment, it felt real good for a second there.
That makes up for it because I think I did trip you, and it wasn't earlier the game, and there was no penalty called. So
I wasn't going to say that.
I think it's an adjustment to being shorthanded, the 3-on-2, because I've noticed like I was thinking in my head of like ways to try to combat that. And I think the best way is having two of your guys down low and keeping everyone on the outside, almost like a box, like in a regular shorthand. But that's an adjustment itself, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you play ice hockey consistently, right? Like every week as well?
Yeah, I've been playing ice since I was 7, and I kind of never stopped.
Yes, I mean, it's definitely, I feel like if you've got good hockey IQ, you can find ways to adjust. But yeah, it's different because even playing 3-on-3 ice hockey is different. So, I mean, trying to play 3-on-3 ice hockey in a confined gym where you can score from literally anywhere, I feel like it's definitely like trying to make that weird play style. How, like you just said, how do you defend a penalty kill? You know,
Right.
You got to do it differently because it's 3-on-2 now, and you don't have as much. The gym went from being tiny to being so much more wide open. So,
Right. And I would say the biggest adjustment for me, I haven't played floor in a long time, is I've always had the skates to try to like get around people and stuff. And like having no space, having someone right on top of me can be so frustrating because if you don't got the speed or there's nobody open, man, cardio wise, like, dude, I'm gonna have to start running like sprints before games because man, it's tough.
yeah, the cardio is definitely wears on you for sure.
For sure.
Move on real quick. The 7:30 game. Me and Noobs broadcasted that game. It was had a good time with you on that one, Noobs. We talked about it during the game, but that was another thriller. I mean, that one went back and forth all the way to the final minute, and I feel like me and you were kind of predicting that. I think we both knew that thing was going to come down to the final seconds there.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about it towards the end of the game, the possibility of it maybe going also to a 10-10, overtime. And for a second there, it really looked like it was going to, or at the very least, 9-9 with 10 seconds to go and that face off. And it was a nail biter.
Yep. And again, Brad coming through with the clutch final second goal. He was just sniping shots like crazy in that game. And real quick, 8:30 game. Storm Surge finally lands in the win column, getting that 8-10 victory over Meteor Mayhem. I caught the end of that when I got home. Popped up on the YouTube and checked that out, and it was nice to see they finally got like a lead in that game. I don't know if any of you guys caught that game on the stream, but it was nice to see that they actually took over the game and kind of held control. And I think they had a 3-goal lead in the last like 30 seconds. So it probably felt really good for Brandon and everybody on that team to just kind of be able to go into the final seconds and breathe a little bit, So congratulations to Storm Surge for finally getting on the win column there.
And that's quite an upset, right? Because wasn't Meteor in the power rankings last week at 1?
Yep, they were number 1 on the power rankings. They demolished us. I mean, have you guys played Meteor yet, Noobs?
Yeah, we played them week 1. That was a weird one for us. So we were down Kyle Crick and Ryan Conco, and had Jesse as a sub, played the game before. We somehow managed to pull that win off.
Yeah, you guys did beat them. I remember I broadcasted that game.
Matt, I think, had like a 96 save percentage. He played unreal.
He played unreal against us too, man. That was called him Big Mark. Big Mark fights. His alter ego.
9:30 game. Fukushima was the biggest scoring differential of the whole night. I thought that was the coolest thing about week 5 is we didn't have any real like big blowouts. First game overtime, second game 10-9, third game 10-8, and the last game 10-6. So no games went higher than 11, which is kind of cool. I mean, it was besides our game that was a 21 goal total. No games went over 20 goals total. So it was very, very tight scoring games, great goaltending from both teams or all teams that night. And Fukushima is the only team that really kind of had a big lead on anybody, coming out with a 10-6 victory there. I don't know if anybody caught that game. I caught the very beginning of it, and that was about all I got.
Yeah, I caught the end of it. It's just Red is a grindy team. It's going to be real tough to beat Red this season. I mean, you obviously got Dr. K in the corners. I'm gonna let him win that. And win that every time. Purple in that game. It's just I would like to see them just confidently kind of control the puck, try to find the slot, and get more shots in that one.
It's a good point of view on that. I feel like I broadcasted them week 1, and I feel like timing wise when they've played, I just haven't had a chance to watch them more since then. But I felt like that team is a very well-rounded team. Les Tremblements. They're a very well-rounded team. And I'm just interested to see how they can take the roundedness of that team and really activate it into being more of a lethal team. And as of right now, it seems like they're kind of getting stuck in a rut of either just kind of like surviving games versus kind of winning or taking control of the games.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I can't say the word. La Tremblement. Like, what do you think they should do right now?
Noobs, you got anything on that?
I mean, with a team that's well-rounded like that, you really got to focus on min-maxing your opportunities. You know, when you get the puck, take good shots. Don't make, stupid turnovers. And then minimize the amount of shots the other way. I mean, it's easier said than done, but a team like that can do it. They have great defense and some pretty good speed on the back end. So,
agree.
Yeah, I got the stats pulled up. It just looks like to me they just gotta get on the board a little more. High volume shots.
I mean, they got the goalie to really help them out. So I feel like that's. I mean, I don't want to say they're leaning on Mark, but I think that's definitely going to be something that can fully save them through all these games. You're having, I think he was a three-time in a row goalie of the year winner. So he's definitely a very, very strong goaltender. So having that to kind of lean on a little bit has definitely been helpful for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a good goalie, it's like having a great quarterback. Like the same thing. Like it
exactly
really helps you.
Agreed. All right. Well, let's move into why we're here, why I have you guys on the pod tonight. Rookies. I was excited to talk about rookies in the first week because the rookie class has been something that has been exciting to me this season. We kind of touched on it a little bit earlier in this season or in this episode so far. I just kind of want to dive into a little bit deeper here. We got Jake right now, who's leading all rookies with goals and with 21 goals. Congratulations. And point total of 28 points. And then Matt leading all rookies in block shots. And then this week he kind of sparked his who knows he's gonna go catch on fire right now. He got his first goal plus a hat trick plus the game winning goal. I mean, I feel like you just lit the string for the firework. So I think you're ready to pop off. What do you think?
I hope so. I think we played I think our first few games we played some really tough teams, good defensive teams, tough goaltenders, and I think like 2 weeks in a row we played Mark in that, and he's such a good goaltender. And then going into this week or this past week, looking at the power rankings, it was 8. We were ranked 8, and I kind of think I just used that as fuel.
Yeah.
And was just like, I gotta get one. I gotta get one tonight, And I knew the game was going to be tough, facing you and Jake. You guys love to shoot, and we were going to have to score goals. And I'm just fortunate to be able to get one, and then getting 2 more in the game winner. After the kind of night it was, it definitely was a little bit of positive after everything that had gone down that night.
I love to hear it. I mean, one thing I would just like to know, because I mean, you touched on it briefly earlier, just about like the slow start for you and how you felt. How do you feel now at this point, acclimating to the gym and acclimating to the play style in the gym? Do you feel like you're starting to get the hang of it now? Do you felt the difference? Where are you at that with that?
Yeah, just listening to a lot with what the veterans have to say, like Noobs, John, and Conco. They're kind of just like explaining, all the little ins and outs with the gym and all the little tricks, like using the wall. And when I first like the first few games, it took me a while to realize I can shoot past the half court line because it's something you can't do outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, let's just get it in deep and just get it out of our own defensive zone. But yeah, it's definitely coming to me now. The adjustment of playing in the gym.
Cool. So like Noobs has basically been like your Yoda this whole time, is what you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm like Luke Skywalker and he's Yoda.
Score you must.
I'm gonna take us to the promised land.
Love it.
I've heard
Jake.
Noobs is coaching like in between games too. Great captain, just speaking positivity in your team, which I just want to give you some kudos there.
So Jake, like I said, right now you're leading all rookies. You got the most goals, the most points. Seems like you're acclimating to the gym fairly well. Do you feel as if, I mean, I know you played Winter Classic, so you feel like you definitely have, you're not running into this blind. You know what I mean? The only difference now is you're playing with more structure as far as rules, and you're playing with a puck. So do you feel like you've kind of made that transition all right?
Yeah, I feel like I've been transitioning pretty good. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, it's just been an adjustment of going from like ice mainly to this of like space, like finding space. Like I was saying, like having skates on and being able to like, pick up that momentum and speed and like go around someone versus you got your feet. It is a big adjustment. And like it could be frustrating at times, but so far with our team, even though our record doesn't really display it, I love playing with everybody on our team. Like you, Reddit, Jake. Like I'm seeing you guys. There was one time when we played you guys, I fed Jake for a 1T, and it was just like I look back at the video and like I didn't even see it in the film. Like I looked for a pass and I just knew he was there, like because that's where he usually goes on that strong side, and like that was pretty nice. But even though our record isn't showing it, I feel like I'm acclimating, and I like our team.
Awesome. I love to hear it. Now that I'll ask you first since I'm already talking to you, but I kind of both of you. I want just kind of curious. We don't really have that many rookies ever that during the season, so I'm curious with you guys the way you're playing this season. Is the idea of the Rookie of the Year award in your head at all, or are you just focused more on getting used to playing in the gym and playing and like working on your team play, or is that at all in your head?
Sorry, my light went out here, but I didn't even know it was a thing.
Oh, it's a thing. Am I in your head now?
No.
We got Rave Jake over here.
Bro, I'm sorry. I got the worst lamp of all time. Of course. No, I didn't know it was a thing. I'm just trying to go out there and play the best I can, you guys. And that's about it.
What about you, Matt? Have you thought about it at all?
No. If I'm being honest, I think Jake might have it. But he's got a good lead on it. I'm not even thinking about it anymore. I'm just thinking about, just how to help our team out. I mean, I don't think I'm personally the type of player that's going to go out and score, 10 goals a game. I feel like as myself, I'm kind of more of a two-way type forward, play a little bit more on the defensive end. I mean, as you said, I'm leading, rookies in block shots.
Crucial.
So I feel like that's just what I'm focusing on is just, working together with the guys on our team. And I feel like after last game, I feel like our chemistry has definitely grown from that.
Love it. Love to hear that. I definitely have something else I want to ask you guys, but first I just kind of want to bounce over to you noobs here. What is your thoughts, not just on Jake and Matt? I mean, you can throw some more gratitudes toward them if you want, but what is your thoughts on this rookie class in general? I know we talked about Keller and Jeff during the game that we broadcasted, but do you have any other thoughts on any of the other rookies, like how well the rookie class is doing this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I may think rookie class has been kind of a bit of an anomaly, but not having that many of them recently. And I think some of the past classes, rookies have not adjusted to the gym very quickly. I feel like this class is adjusted, from what I've seen, very, very quickly to the play style, the shooting style, high shot volumes, things like that. It's impressive on your guys' part.
Thanks.
Oh yeah. So yeah, one other question I got, Jake and Matt. I mean, if you don't really know very well, it's totally fine. But based on the games that you've played so far and the people you may have met or talked to, is there any veteran players or anybody out there that's kind of like stood out to you, like that just kind of have almost like blown your mind a little bit, or kind of like whoa, okay, this is what the RFHL is all about?
Yeah, Mr. Paul Paradigm.
Air Canada.
I remember before the game started, someone went up to me on our team and was like, "Hey, watch out for him." And just from me playing, my whole life, I'm like, okay. And then like I remember I was kind of going towards him to get in the way of the shot. And I was like, let's see. And I was like, okay, well, there's that. So he's got a hell of a shot, hell of a player, great hockey IQ. And I was talking to him after the game. Great guy.
Yeah. Paul's definitely a good hockey guy to have. And I mean, and that's the dangerous thing with Meteor in general too, is they've got Paul, they've got Bob Haynes, like they've got Dave King. They've got this just and I don't want to call them all old, but they've got an older mind, like older players, but like that mindset of hockey that all of them have. Like that's a big amount of hockey knowledge between those three. And with Paul leading the pack with them, that's what makes, I think, that team so dangerous. And I can understand why they landed number 1 on power rankings. But yeah, Paul's definitely good hockey guy, good guy in general. So
to comment on that, I remember when I first started playing men's league at Lakeshore, like at 18 years old, like after like regular hockey left. I remember playing certain men's league teams and with older guys on it, and then being like younger at the time, being like, we're gonna beat these guys. They're older. I've noticed like a lot of times, like the teams I played, like work the puck so great because as you get older, you might be getting slower, but that hockey IQ of years of playing is just getting better. So it's a real advantage of just knowing the game.
agreed. It's Matt. How about you? Anybody that's kind of stood out to you at all, or that you've seen? It might not even be somebody you played against, just somebody you might have watched when playing, coming to games.
I think that's one thing about me playing in past Winterfest is a lot of these guys are pretty familiar. But I think like what Jake said, when he was talking about Paul's shot, it's just like I remember he just rips it from the other end of the court, and it's just like one of those where you're like, yeah, I'm not, you do it one time and you take a block shot, and you're like, okay, that's it. And it's another one like Kurt. I think I took one block shot from Kurt, and I'm like, no, I'm just gonna let you can just rip it. But I think thinking about it, the guys on was it Fukushima, the red team, they're Dr. K and Furlano. I think like the intensity that those guys play with on that team has just been something to watch. I mean, me and Furlano went into the corner and I got a stick in the eye. So I mean, that's how much intensity they play, and they're such a good team. But those are the couple of guys that I would say I've been noticing and fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, as you can tell, I mean, that's something we commented a lot during the draft video. We saw what was going on when that team got drafted. That team is a grindy team, and I mean, props to them. I feel like they're still pretty low on the penalty minute list. I mean, I felt like we all kind of predicted that they would be a lot higher on the penalty minute list, but they've done a really good job of being a very productive team, but also grindy and exhausting. So luckily we haven't had to play them yet, but I think that time's coming up pretty soon for us. So we're gonna see how that's gonna go for us.
It seems like they leave their mark on everybody. Every time someone plays them, it seems like I'm hearing something, which is a good thing.
Awesome. You guys have any notes or anything as far as how you feel like your first 5 weeks have gone so far being in the RFHL?
I just say I'm just happy to be in the league. I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait for these next 5 weeks to see how everything plays out.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it myself, and I'm grateful I got in, and I look forward to it every Wednesday. So
Awesome. Yeah, it's the way it should be, man. It's a great league, and I mean these regular season games, they obviously matter to an extent, but when those playoffs come, that's when everything goes. Everybody turns on those jets. Everybody puts on that intensity, and that mention of put that in the forefront of your brain come playoff time, because those playoffs are important. Every game matters. So speaking of playoffs, we're getting closer and closer. Let's slide our way into the predictions for week 6 here. We'll kind of get to the end here and wrap up the show. I'm just going to kind of quickly go through what teams we got going on, what games we have happening, and then we'll kind of go around the room and let you guys drop your predictions here. 6:30, we've got Meteor Mayhem going up against the Sinkhole Sidewinders. At 7:30, we've got the Tipsy Talking Twisters going against the Storm Surge. 8:30, Firestorm Hockey Club taking on Le Treblayon. And 9:30, we get to take on the Fukushima Face-Off, the Tsunami Tacticians against Fukushima Face-Off. Noobs, why don't you go through the 4 games and let us know what you think your predictions are for these 4 games?
So let's see. I think Meteor takes game 1. They've just been playing really well. I mean, obviously, there's a reason that they were at the top of the power rankings before. Ironically, I think for game 2, I have us not picked to win. I would say Storm Surge looked really good last game. I would say that they have a really good chance of winning game 2. I think Firestorm comes out swinging for game 3, and I think you guys win it in game 4.
I'm not gonna argue that. Matt, what are your predictions for these 4 games?
I think for the 6:30, I think that's probably gonna be a close one there. I might lean towards Sinkhole on this one. Brad's put in like back-to-back weeks 2 last-minute goals, so maybe expect to see a third. Maybe we'll make it 3 for 3. 7:30 our game. Yeah, I think like Noob said, you got Storm Surge coming off of a win, so we'll see if that momentum to can take them to a win. But I'm gonna have to go with us. I gotta believe in us. I'm gonna go with us. 8:30 with Firestorm and Les Tremblements. I'm gonna go with the Les Tremblements on that one. Probably, I have a feeling that's going to be another close game, and then 9:30. That's a tough one. Maybe I'm gonna go with Fukushima. I'm sorry, guys.
All good, no worries.
I generally think, just like this past week, they're all going to be close games.
Another close week.
I just think maybe there's a tide has shifted, and we're going to see a lot more close games now.
I like that. Jake, where are you feeling here?
We got a banger to start off with. I'm just going to say we got father versus son to start off, and we're gonna get into that. I think the way Sinkhole wins this, obviously their game usually goes through Brad, right? So if Brad does his job on slowing down the game like he does, making people come to him, seeking his options while taking his shots, I think they can get it done. However, I did have my first son 9 months ago, and I'm going to have to go with older dad on this. I think older dad's going to show the son, hey, that's how we do it over here. So I'm going to go with Meteor on that one. And we got Tipsy versus Storm Surge. I'm going to go with you guys. I'm going to go with Tipsy gets the dub over Storm Surge. Storm Surge, I mean, I just think at this point, I think they're a great team. I just think for me, they got to prove it right now. They're like us, our team, Rob. They got to prove it. And then next we got Firestorm versus Les Tremblements. Firestorm kind of reminds me of Fukushima with their energy of being like that grindy team. It's kind of like a thorn in the side right now. It's hard to go against them right now. I'm going to go Firestorm on that one. And then we got Fukushima versus Tsunami Tacticians. Dude, I hate to say it. I think Fukushima's got us in this one. It's just same thing like I said about Storm Surge. We got to go out there and prove it. We gotta play lockdown defense. We got to get some goals on the board, and we got to get them up quick, based on how games been going for us.
Agreed. Yeah, we can't play that game from behind. That's something we can't afford to do.
Yeah.
So I agree there. I'm throwing my predictions in the wind here. That 6:30 game, I definitely think. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. I think that will be probably one of the game of the week, in my opinion. That 6:30 game is going to be a really tough battle. I think it's going to come down to we might get a 3 out of 3, like Matt said, with Brad just thinking of final last minute goal here. But I definitely think this is going to come down to the end there. It's going to be a gritty one goal game for sure. Tipsy Talking versus Storm Surge. Meaning, I love you, Matt, but I feel like John Foes might be a kryptonite to Matt McCarchuk. So if John Foes is there, it can be tough. Matt's definitely a battler, but as long as Matt can see the shot, I think you guys definitely stand a chance. And that's my opinion. When it all comes down to it, goalie battle. I know you guys are struggling to get goals, but I mean, if you guys can find a way to score goals and score goals quick, I see Tipsy taking the win here. You guys just got to let Matt see those shots. Let Matt do his thing. You guys play your offense and defense. Lock them down. Don't let the clean ones get through. I think you guys pull away with a W. I think Tipsy takes that for the 7:30. 8:30, Firestorm, Le Tremblement. I think Firestorms, they got to figure it out. They're a very strong team, and even the losses they've had, they're not big losses. They haven't been blown out. They had an OT loss, I believe. I think they lost an OT, and then last week they lost with 9 seconds left. So I think they're ready to get back in the win column, but Le Tremblement wants the win really bad. So I think we're gonna find out which team really wants the W the best. And I feel like Firestorm's not going to get that monkey off their back. I feel like Le Tremblement's going to find a way to sneak in the W there. I think they're going to kind of get under Firestorm's skin. They're going to start getting frustrated a little bit. They're a very strong team, and I think that brain starts spinning of you're a good team. You started off the season not dominating, but kind of controlling the games you played, and all of a sudden now you're 2 losses in a row. I don't know if that's going to get in their head a little bit. I don't know if this podcast is going to get in their head a little bit. Who knows? But I think Le Tremblement takes that game. 9:30 Fukushima to Tsunami. I'm just going to throw the faith on my team here. We need to get in the W column bad. We got into it one week, and it's starting to make us look like it was a fluke. Sure, we set a record for most goals, but that's our only W this season. So I agree with what you said, Jake. We got to score quick. We got to score early. We can't be playing this game from behind. Even the game that we almost won last week, we were behind. We had to battle back into that game, and I feel like that's why we could never get ahead. So if we can find a way to get ahead and kind of slow down the intensity of Kurt, Berlano, Dr. K, that entire team. If we can just find a way to slow down on that intensity, we can get ahead and get that W. And I believe in us. I believe we can get the W this week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we almost can't get synced into playing their style. I think we have to go down and kind of like slow down the game and move the puck, get a nice little triangle going, a little isosceles. I messed that up. Kind of pass around and make some plays happen.
Agreed. Well, thank you guys. I think that's gonna be it for us tonight. I think we covered everything pretty well. I really appreciate you guys being on the pod with us. I know that's something that we really wanted to do with this podcast is making sure that we've got more people from the RFHL involved in the podcast, especially people that might not be as vocal within the RFHL. I know obviously there's a lot of people that we see constantly on the broadcasts and in previous podcasts, and we want to make sure we have more inclusiveness within these opportunities in the podcast. So I'm happy to get you rookies on here, and I'm happy you guys are in the RFHL. I'm glad you guys are loving it. It's been a great season so far, and I hope you guys stick around and continue to love the RFHL the way it's been going.
For
You guys
sure.
have any final thoughts or words? Anything you want to leave with? Any hi moms? Any promotions? Nothing. Cool. All right. Well, with that being said, I think we're just going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching the podcast. Good luck with your games. And like I said, follow the YouTube, like, subscribe, do all the good things. Tune into the streams, share with your friends, your families, your neighbors. Tell everybody about the RFHL. Spread the word. And lastly, as always, is it Wednesday yet?